Hey everybody, and boy have I been having a really fun time with River Valley Glassworks. I couldn't wait to share my experience with you and tell you what some of those features are that you might be interested in. So this is a 1 to 5 player game that takes about 25 minutes to play. No joke, really 25 minutes. I was skeptical, but in my gameplay, it's about 25 minutes and it really does lock in the game end trigger so that players who get to that place, which is gaining 17 glass stones in their mart or in their player board area, trigger the end of the game, and then players are going to count up their score. So let me show you all the components. This is going to be your player board, and there are a handful of them. And the reason why everyone's board has a different color but also the same stuff on it is because on the back of the other board, so it's cute. This is all adorable. It's all the same stuff. There's nothing different about the boards. They're not asymmetrical. But I've got Rosie's Grit and Glass, the River Valley Glass Collective, the Beaver Boutique, and Cornelius D. Shellworth's Glass Craft. They're color-based, and they have cute little figures. Mine's Hoppington's Glass Mart. But on the back is actually where you're going to find these solo opponents. And there are 5 of them. So this is what I want to talk about towards the end. But you're going to see that difficulty level here, auto, is the one they recommend starting with. And then you've got all those on the back here. And they have these boards. So it's important that players get to play with this. But when you're playing by yourself, you're going to play against an opponent. And that's where you're going to find it. And here's the one on the back of mine. Spring and skip, yes and yes. So let's take a look at the main game and what you're doing here. This is a lake, and then you're going to have the river that comes down this direction. All you're going to do is look at your board. It's super, super easy. And it says, choose one action, place and gather, place 1 glass on a matching river tile or 2 of the same shape on any river tile. Then you will add all glass from 1 adjacent tile to your glassworks, and then move that empty tile to the end of the river. Done and done. And refill. It's so easy. So I have these 3 that I drew from the bag randomly. This is my little satchel. This is my little basket. I've got max 5, and I start with 3. Okay, super cute. You'll see they have shapes, and then they have colors. Oh, goodness. Here we go, and here we go. Okay, so now that I've fully dropped all my stuff on the floor, let's continue. I'm going to take one of these, and you'll see out here that these tiles have shapes. So if I take my triangle, I'm going to essentially place this here into that location. I'm going to put it out here for now, and I take from an adjacent space. Well, I can't take from the lake, that's a different thing, but it's an adjacent tile in the river. So if I place this out, I'm essentially wanting to take these 2. If I play out my pentagon right here, it's going to be from this space or from this space. And if I play out this oblongy weird thing into this tile, I can take from either of those 2 spaces. So I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out where do I want to go and what do I want to do. They have glass rarity. And so you can figure out where are some of the more common shapes versus the rarer colors, not shapes. And that's where you're going to put your glassworks into. So let's just say I go here, and then I'm going to collect from here. I take these, and then I pick where I want to put them. And I'm going to put them 1, and I'm going to put them 2. I'm going to just set them right there on top. I then take this, and I put it towards the end, and I skosh my river down. And then how you replace is by looking at the tile that's adjacent to it, drawing from the bag that many stones that you see. So I'm going to draw and put 2 right here. So I'm going to reach in the bag, and I'm going to get these guys. Looks like this one and that one. And this bag you can see is just filled with beautiful juicy gems, juicy river rocks, glassworks. And that is going to be the start of the river and refill. You could just draw instead, and what you do is you draw 4 pieces from the lake. There are 5, and you just simply take 4, and you put the ones from the lake into your little basket. This is a max 5. If you ever go over, they go to your overflow, and overflow are -3 per piece. You might overflow here and you might overflow in your bag, which means that you don't want to take tiles until you have the capacity for them, unless you're really, really wanting to get those tiles to then put out here to gain from the river to put into your glassworks. So that's going to be the end of my turn. I did one of the 2 actions available, and then this is the way that you score. So players are just simply going to keep doing this. Let's say my opponent uses this, we'll just draw from here, looks like an oval. They put an oval in there and they take the adjacent space. So we're going to take those, that's what my opponent took. They come out and they put this down, and then we move it down, and then we're going to refill based on that number here, which again is 2. So we've got those 2 guys, and it comes back to me. I now can use my triangle here. I can use my hex here. Let's add this here because it matches the shape. And then I take these guys. Now I have to figure out, I want to do maybe blue. And then this is where you start building up color-wise. So the shapes don't matter here. You just want colors. And so the more colors you can get of a kind further down the row means that you're going to be getting more victory points than the ones down here. So if you put some of the rarer types down here, then you're going to hopefully be able to build up to more of the common types and get more of those towards the end. That's a theory. Now, one thing you always have to remember, which I've already forgotten, it's pretty easy to forget, but it's always super, super easy to check, is how many of these glass pieces you have, and you keep track of it right here. So I've got 5, I move it to 5, check and check. Now, when I reach 17, that's the trigger of the end of the game. And we are going to score rows, and we're going to score columns, and we're going to score overflow places. And that's it. That's how this game lasts just 25 minutes. It's really, really quite short. So this guy would come out of here, we would move it down, and then we would replace this. And I'm going to put 2 more in there. So let's say on my turn, I choose to take from the lake instead. I am going to take 4 of these pieces, and I might want to get the triangle so that I can have a matching shape, because up here it says if you do 2 of the same shape on any river tile, you can then go wherever you want, essentially. So I definitely want to get this. I want to get that. I want to get this, and I want to get this. And the reason is these tiles that you take here are the tiles that then go out here that you then get to take. And I really want to get more of these green colors. I want to get more of the whites, and purple will get me 1 more color down here. I'm not too concerned about getting more blues just yet. So I'm going to keep these, and I'm going to put them in there. My max is 5, and now I just replace these. So I go 1, 2, 3, and 4. It looks like I got too many out, but I put it back. This is the game. That's the core basic game. Notice I've got these beautiful black pieces right over here. These guys don't come in unless you have a 5-player game, and then you'll put them in here as yet another color. So here's what makes the game really cool. First off, I told you playing solo and playing with those solo characters, each one functions slightly differently, but gives you a full run for your money. The solo game here is dynamite. I will say, though, that when you get more players, it gets more chaotic, and the river, obviously, and the lake, obviously, change drastically from your turn to your next turn, because there are 4 players going in turn order. So some of the things that they have here, I want to say, is the River Glass and Other Sundries. This is a pack of 6 modules that expand your game with player powers and new scoring conditions. And they are so cool. I have to say, just, again, really, really dynamite move here. So the first thing is orders, and everybody has a special order, and it comes from your overflow area. So in before, you don't want overflow pieces because they're negative points, but in this case, you can choose one of them that matches an order on your card, and then you'll get points for the overflow. Really, really cool way to make overflow a strategic part of your game. So that's one thing. The next thing is assistance. You can use your assistance once on your turn, and then you turn them face down. And if you don't use them, you score the 2 victory points. So assistants give you once per game abilities that you might want to use because other players are taking the things that you're looking for. Equipment. You want to play with this? Everybody has a unique piece of equipment with a unique scoring bonus, and you'll score victory points for your equipment. Again, just dynamite, cool modules, and every card will just tell you exactly what it does at the bottom. Next thing is the flooded market. Every player has an undesirable color that's flooded the local markets and becomes less exciting to their customers. If the shortest column in your Glassworks is your undesirable color, you score the higher VP on your card. If you have no column of your color, you score the lowest VP. And they again have them here for all the different colors. It's just great. It gives you just, again, a little bit more to go for. It might add 5 minutes to the game because you're adding a little bit of complexity, but it's worth it, in my opinion. Lake diving, everyone's got a lucky shape. There are all those shapes in here. It helps them gather extra glass. So when you place your lucky shape in the river, gather an extra piece of your choice from the lake to add to your Glassworks. That's not how you play the game. That really breaks the rules, and it's kind of cool. So yes to lake diving. And then lastly, river treasures. Each player has a treasured shape that has that their artisan consumers value. So count the number of pieces in your treasured shape in your Glassworks and add VP for what's shown on your card. And there you've got your scale. So you have up to 16 points that you can earn. Just amazing. These are so cool. So I highly, highly recommend the River Glass and other sundries and adding any or all of those modules to your game to create that dynamic play. But I also highly recommend the solo and playing with that opponent on the back. It is just really, really clever, super, super smart. And again, that scale of easier to harder to even harder. It's just so, so fun. So a lot of ways to play this and a lot of ways to enjoy it. With 1 player all the way up to 5 players, this game has it, and it's beautiful. It's a nice, impressive, compact box. It doesn't come in this massive box. They did such a good job of making it narrow and small enough, and they really just, they did exactly what they needed to do. And the production quality is here. I love this bag. It's beautiful. It is just like, it looks like it's been made, you know, with glass pieces. And then I just love all the glass pieces when you just, feels so good. This game feels good, it looks good, and boy is it fun. And I can't believe it takes under half an hour to play. So not enough thumbs ups for River Valley Glassworks. Can't wait to play again, and can't wait to keep trying out those solo opponents. All right, folks, that's it for me this time. I'll see you later.